Welcome to our exclusive online Words Matter More segment. I'm joined now by Kel Richards. Kel, great to have you for this extended segment. Every Thursday it goes live on our website. We get to all the other words that we've got on our homework. Tonight we covered a couple of words on the program, but one of them was homework from last week that I want you to get into now. Mullet, the origins for the terrible haircut that's highly fashionable at the moment. Where did that come from?
Well, we talked about it last week, and I told you it's not recorded before 1994. And you threw up your hands and said, no, it must be older than that. It feels older than that. And lots of people agree with you, I've got to say. You know, they say, I must have heard it before 1994. So I said, I'll go away and do some more digging. Well, I searched through Trove. I could find citations from 2000, 2001, 2004, but nothing earlier. So I went to my friend Mark Gwynn at the Australian National Dictionary Centre. Now, can I read you what Mark sent me? He sent me a message saying, Kel, there's nothing earlier in our databases than 1994. It's one of those words you swear has been around longer, but nothing in the written record to prove it. It's such a well-known term. Quite a few people have been looking into the term, but have not found anything earlier than that 1994 reference. But he does add, by the way, he said, I do know that shag and bi-level were terms used for the haircut before it became known as a mullet. So it looks like, officially, it was only a mullet from 1994, even though that feels too recent for us.
And do we know why it's called a mullet? What the actual word mullet has to do with the, business up the front, party down the back sort of haircut?
The Beastie Boys, who seem to have coined it and put it into a song, actually came up with what they called humorous possible sources. They weren't serious about it. And Oxford reports one of these, that it might come from the fish. I mean, the word mullet comes from French. And if you look at someone wearing a mullet, you can sort of see the fish's tail hanging down the back of their neck. So, yeah. So now that was suggested by the Beastie Boys. The Oxford say it is a humorous suggestion, but it might still be right.
All right, we'll see. I'm sure this will inspire some controversy. We'll be chasing this one for the next few weeks. Donald Trump, there's talk that he'll be indicted by the Manhattan District Attorney. People are interested to know, where does the word indict come from? And is indict a word? Is indict a word? And are we getting the pronunciation right?
We are getting the pronunciation exactly right. It came into English, Middle English, a long time ago, 1200s I think it was, came into Middle English from Anglo-Norman French. So it's got that French background. And when we're pronouncing it, what we're hearing is the French pronunciation of the word. But behind the French word is a Latin word. And the Latin word means to declare or to dictate. And in fact, you see a little bit of dictate if you look at the second syllable of indict, the D-I-C-T. So the reason it's confusing is the spelling is from Latin, the pronunciation is from French. So that's why we look at the word and say it's spelled indict, but it's pronounced indict. What's going on? Pronunciation from the French, spelling from the Latin, that's what's going on.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? One of my viewers wants to know the adjective feckless. She says, I watch a lot of US politics and I'm interested to where this comes from. Chris in Townsville.
Okay, feckless is obviously a negative. There was the positive word. It's one of the missing positives from our modern English. There was a long time ago, around the 1400s, there was a word feck, which I say really carefully, F-E-C-K, and it meant the essential part of something, the most important part of something. So it came into English, as I said, a long time ago. Now, if you're missing the essential part, if you're not very effective, because feck was related to the word effective, then you are without feck. You are feckless. So there really was a word like that, which is now becomes a negative with feckless. But it did exist.
Use feck for me in a sentence.
Okay. The central part. Okay. All right. I'm trying to compose a sentence in my head.
Spot, hey?
The feck of the load was the number of barrels carried by the cart. So the main part of the load was the number of barrels carried by the cart. On the back of it, there was also some bales of hay, but the main part, the feck of the load, was the number of barrels carried. So it's the main part, the essential part. It's odd because it doesn't exist in the living language anymore. It just sounds strange to us.
It's funny, isn't it? We've kept a lot of the negative words with all those suffixes that we know as negative suffixes, they have been maintained, but the original, I don't know whether you call it the root, the original part of the word is long gone. Where can people get your newsletter? Where do they go for more information and to give us some more words for next week?
Okay. The impeccable source, which is another one of those, there used to be a word peccable years ago in English. The impeccable source for all the information is the website.
It's good.
ozwords.com.au, ozwords.com.au, or if you've got a question, you can go there and go to the contact page or go to Peter's Instagram page. That's a good idea too.
Peta Credlin, AO, if you drop me a line there, me and my wonderful team of producers will scoop it all up and we'll come back and put it to Kel. Thanks as always, Kel. See you next week.
See you then.